I was admittedly a screen time addict. I had 14, 15, even 16 hours of screen time. I usually don't confess this. And let me tell you something, after I quit my phone addiction, as a company that I currently run, Compass, we had a single month almost where we closed more in contracts than we had throughout the life of the business. That, I am telling you, was directly attributable to me quitting this phone addiction. And I did it with a very structured process that I'm going to outline for you. And this was all without actually deleting any of the apps. I'm going to give you all the softwares, everything, not going to hold anything back. Because every day I would look at myself in the mirror and think to myself, wow, I waste so much time. I even self-diagnosed myself with ADHD so that I could just brush it under the rug. Now, even though I had this big excuse, oh, I have ADHD, I'm high on the ADHD spectrum, I had a business that I wanted to build. And I've been an entrepreneur for a very long time. I had so many failed businesses and I just had to make this one work. The first thing we got to talk about is the path of least resistance. So me actually getting over my phone addiction was a 4 to 5 month process. First, what I actually did is I removed my apps from the most convenient location. Now, a lot of people search for the apps that they want, but for me, what I did was I had all the apps that I use the most, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, had them in thumbs reach. And that was a big issue for me because it was the path of least resistance. See, most people, 99% of people, will always do the easiest thing. If scrolling on Instagram is easy, then that's what you'll do. If watching a YouTube video from me is easy, that's what you're gonna do. And the thing is, you can always remove your path of least resistance. It's always a multi-layer process in my experience to removing different things from your path of least resistance. So for example, if I remove my app from the easiest place, then I'll just start searching for it. For me, if I blocked Instagram on my MacBook and that was on Safari, then I realized I would just access it on Chrome. So then I had to find a way to block it on Chrome. So again, it's a multi-layered process that you kind of have to go through. But what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to give you what worked for me. On my phone, I downloaded an app called ClearSpace. Honestly, it was the first one that I tried. I didn't try any other screen time limiting app. This one was the first one I tried. It worked pretty well for me. I paid about $50 a year for it, which is pretty good because that actually kept me accountable to using it. Otherwise, I'd be like, why am I paying $50 for something I don't use? But every time I opened the app, it would make me breathe in and out. And what I did is I set the breathe in and out animation to 30 seconds, which was the maximum. So I just opened my app and then it would just make me breathe in and then breathe out and then wait. I'd read some corny quote about how men have become the tools of their tools. And then I could decide to use the app. When I clicked the use app, it would ask me, you want to do 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes, or 15 minutes? And so I would click maybe 8 minutes and then it kicked me out after 8 minutes. Now what I did is I set a certain number of uses on ClearSpace and then I entered a contract with my business partner where I essentially said, if I go over any of these limits, you can have my equity. And we check each other's ClearSpaces all the time. So again, that's very important, adding accountability to all of this. So again, I paired in accountability with ClearSpace because let's be honest, all this shit is really simple. You probably know about these screen time limiting apps. But the thing is, you probably tried and downloaded one of these, you just delete them after a while. That's the real problem. How do you actually stick to shit? That's with accountability. Second thing, I downloaded Beeper. See, the thing is, I used to give myself this excuse that I couldn't delete Instagram or WhatsApp or all these things because I had to message people on. But Beeper, what it actually did for me is took Telegram, Instagram, Discord, even SMS, literally took all of it, put it in one app. So again, no more of this excuse I have to contact people. You know, on Instagram, sometimes people send you reels, you just like them, send them back. You just like them and you don't actually watch them. That's basically what I started doing. Well, I was doing that before, obviously, as well. But I started doing that to the max after I got Beeper because again, wouldn't even be able to access the app. So again, what I did personally is I started off with about 4 or 5 limits on all these apps. But what I eventually did is I reduced it down and down and down and down and down and down and down. And then eventually just got rid of it all. Right now, I have Instagram, 1 10-minute use on Instagram, 1 10-minute use on TikTok. And the only reason why is because I scroll on there to look for ads because I have a media buyer that runs ads for me and I pay him a shitload of money to actually run the ad. It would make sense for me to actually be seeing some ads and that's all I look for. I just scroll, maybe it's a little psychopathic, but I just scroll on Instagram, look for ads, send it into this little group and then we review them or the person who makes the ads for our company makes those ads. Next, once I got all my time back, so again, this is a process over time. You know what I would do all day? Nothing. Because what lies in the path of least resistance? What's the easiest thing to do? Nothing is the easiest thing to do. After you have Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, you get rid of all of these. The next thing that lies in the path of least resistance is literally nothing. So what I started doing is I started picking 3 hits every single night. So these hits were very, very tactical. So I'd be like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna do this. I'd have 3 main tasks. For me, they were all advertising related because that was the constraint of my business, actually getting customers in. And that's the constraint of most businesses, by the way, is getting customers in. But I broke these down so that, again, there was no decision fatigue in terms of me actually doing these. Like, I knew exactly what to do. It wasn't make an ad. It was like, I gotta do this and then this and then this. Like, I gotta get ready at this time, you know, make sure I pack all this shit, go there, and then have these rooms booked out or whatever, you know, make sure nobody's in the conference room so I can actually record my ads. I'd like literally plan it out. But again, still, nothing was easier to do. Like, it doesn't matter if I had all this shit blocked out. Like, who wants to actually do stuff? So what I actually started doing is I paired hourly time blocks with accountability. So basically, I started working hour by hour. So every single day, I would work at least 4 to 5 hours. That's where I started. Currently, it's about 8. And that also I eventually ramped up. You know how clear space with accountability, I eventually like brought it down. And again, the fear for me was actually losing the equity. So I wouldn't actually evade the limits. With these hour-long blocks, which I call cabs, I just increase them over time. So again, you bring down the addiction, bring up the work. Now, if I didn't complete a certain number of cabs per day, I would again lose equity to my business partner. By the way, if you're interested in this system and a whole bunch of other accountability systems, we're hosting a free 6-week focus challenge. It's only for entrepreneurs, so if you're not a serious entrepreneur, this is not for you. But I know there's a few entrepreneurs that watch my videos. We're hosting a free 6-week focus challenge. Basically, in this challenge, we'll be giving you accountability, which is the most important thing.
The issue that we're solving for is not that it's not a knowledge gap. The issue is an accountability gap, is that people don't do stuff. There's a service that just sells accountability. They literally just like, whatever your goals are, we'll just hold you accountable. Like, that's it. It's all they sell. And I think you get, you know, some touch base every week with somebody who just like, you said you were going to do this. Have you done it? What's the plan for this week? Basically, they just help people prioritize and eliminate. And I think that's pretty valuable.
We know what to do, but we can't do it because we don't have anyone observing us and anyone holding us accountable.
When you have someone looking at your stats, when you have accountability calls, it's like there's no running anywhere, you know what I mean?
Accountability is important because that's how you're going to get leverage. That's how you're going to get credibility. It's also how you're going to get equity. And if you have high accountability, that makes you less replaceable.
We've had a bunch of people go through the challenge, a bunch of entrepreneurs. They say they got amazing results. We had,
bro, I got more done in 10 days than I did in the last 20 years. And that's not even an exaggeration.
A lot of us know what we need to do, and it just comes down to having a system and process in place to actually do what we know we must do.
I came in to fix my habit of focusing, and I ended up fixing my whole life. Took my focus, my consistency, everything to the next level, held me accountable.
The domain name that I'm developing has been owned by me since 2004. So this work has been 20 years in the making. Let me explain something that happened when I met Javi.
I went from a dude being able to focus 10 minutes at a time to a guy lock in for even like 4 hours, 5 hours straight.
For example, a dude called Jason, one of our biggest success stories, ended up with
$100,000 a month. That's how serious this opportunity is.
Within 90 days, he was the owner of a SaaS company. When he came to us, he was barely getting by. But anyways, if you want that, that's in the description down below. If you don't want it, that's perfectly fine. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the simple process I followed, and it does take time, but eventually you can still have your apps, but completely get rid of your phone addiction. I'm telling you, it is the most liberating feeling. If you like this video, you're gonna love this video even more. You know why? Because I made this video. If you like this, there's a very high likelihood that you're gonna like this video because I made it too. Ciao!